Hey, welcome to Derby Lane. I'm Derby. Today I'm going to be doing this makeup look featuring the Too Faced Chocolate Bar Palette. Take a look at these colors. They are absolutely gorgeous. And oh my goodness, they smell like chocolate. I am so excited to show you guys how I created a look with this. I'm so excited to have this. It's brand new. So go ahead and stay tuned to see this makeup look. Okay, so today I'm going to start with a primer. I'm going to use the POREfessional face primer from Benefit. I'm going to start by pressing it into my pores and then blending it out on the rest of my face. It's best to use a pressing motion in areas when you have large pores so you can fill those out with the primer. So for foundation, I'm going to use the L'Oreal True Match Lumi in C4 Shell Beige and the CoverGirl Outlast Stay Fabulous Foundation in Buff Beige. I'm mixing them together on my hand and then applying it with the Real Techniques sponge. I dampen the sponge to give a smooth and lightweight application, and the reason I mix these two foundations together is because the CoverGirl foundation is completely matte and the L'Oreal Lumi has a little bit of dewiness to it, and in the cold winter months, even with oily skin, I like to add a little bit of glow to my skin. So as I'm blending it out, I'm using a tapping motion on my face that gives a little bit of extra coverage in the places I need, and I'm using a second layer of foundation also in those areas where I need a little bit of extra coverage. So for my concealer, I'm going to use the Amazing Concealer. I don't remember the color of this one, but I'll place it in the description box below. As you can see, you only need a very little bit with this concealer. It's very viscous or thick, so a little bit goes a long way. I apply it with my finger and then again tapping motion with my Real Techniques sponge. For my under eye concealer, I'm going to be using the NYX HD Photogenic Concealer in the color Fair. The number is CW02. I'm applying it in your typical triangle motion right under the eye and blending it out with the Real Techniques sponge. I'm also bringing the concealer kind of up into the cheekbone area to just add a little bit of highlight with that color since the concealer is a few shades lighter than my skin. So next I'm going to do a little bit of highlighting with Benefit's What's Up highlighter. This is actually my favorite highlighter. It's a champagne color and it leaves such a beautiful glow on the skin. I'm applying it with the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush and just applying it to the high points of my face. So that's the cheekbones, down the bridge of the nose, on the chin, and just over the arch of the eyebrow. So next I'm going to apply loose powder just to set everything. I'm going to use the Clinique Loose Powder in Invisible Blend. I'm going to use a big puffy brush. This one is the Real Techniques powder brush to apply it all over my face. As you can see, I'm using a pressing motion just to set it so the foundation doesn't move at all. Next, I'm going to set under the eye with the Real Techniques setting brush. It's a smaller detailed brush, so it gets right up into the underneath of the eye and anywhere I added some extra concealer. I'm going to warm up my face with a bronzer. This one is Too Faced Bronzer in Chocolate Soleil. This is my favorite bronzer at the moment and it smells like chocolate also, just like the Chocolate Bar palette. I'm applying it with the Real Techniques blush brush. So next I'm going to contour under my cheekbones. I'm going to use the NYX Contour Palette, just the dark color. I'll apply it with the Clinique Blush Brush and just apply it right under the cheekbone and blend it out just a little bit. I'm also applying it under my lip to add a little bit of poutiness when I put my lipstick on and on the outer edges of my temple and a little bit up into the forehead. That's just going to add a little bit more definition to my face. And lastly, if you want to, you can contour your nose just to make it a little bit slimmer. Just use a light touch on the outer corners of your nose and just around the tip area as well. So for a powder highlight, I'm going to use the Physicians Formula Glow Pearls. I'm going to use that same Real Techniques detailing brush to apply it on the high points of my cheek. I'll also apply it down the bridge of my nose and a little bit on the chin. And I'm just going to add a little bit extra because I like my face extra glowy apparently. So for my blush, I'm going to use the Tarte Amazonian Clay blush. This color is called Dollface. It's just a nice, pretty, soft pink, and I really like these Amazonian Clay blushes because they're very buildable. They're a high pigment, but you can definitely start with a light hand and add as much pigmentation onto your face as you would like. So these are my favorite at the moment also. As I start my eyes, I'm going to start with the primer as usual. This one is the NYX primer in the pot. It's the neutral color. I'm just going to brush that all over the lid with the Real Techniques crease brush. And here I am getting super excited because I'm going to start using this Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. This is actually the first time I'm using it, so I'm extra thrilled about that. So to begin with on the eyes, I'm going to start with the white chocolate color and apply that all over the lid with a big puffy brush. This one is from Clinique. Next, I'm going to take Salted Caramel with a MAC blending brush and just apply that in the crease and blend it out. Add more color to the brush and do the same thing to the other eye and just blend, blend, blend until you get a nice smooth color that fades out seamlessly. Next, I'm going to take the color called Candied Violet. This one I'm going to apply with just a flat eyeshadow brush. I'm applying it to the outer corner of my eye, kind of just the outer half of the lid, and blending it up a little bit into the crease. Then with the same MAC brush with no extra color on it, I'm just going to blend out the color I just applied to the crease. And then with the same flat eyeshadow brush I applied the Candied Violet with, I'll apply a little bit extra right in the center of my eye. And then I'm doing some extra blending in the crease here. The next color I'm going to use is called Candied Violet, and I'm going to apply that just in the corners of my eyes with the dome tip brush. So I'm going to apply a couple of coats here to get the color started so I get a nice saturation and have that pretty cranberry color really pop on that outer corner. I really love these dome tip brushes because they're great for applying color as well as blending out in a very precise area. As you can see, I'm using the same MAC brush again without adding any extra color and just blending the cranberry color out the same way I did with the violet color earlier. And I'm repeating the same steps on eye number 2. By the way, this dome tip brush is actually from Clinique as well. Then I'm going to take the MAC brush again and do some blendy blendy. And the next color I'm going to use is called Strawberry Bonbon. I'm going to apply that with an eyeshadow packing brush just on the inner corner of my eyes, on the area I didn't place the Candied Violet earlier. So basically, in the only part of my eye I haven't applied eyeshadow yet. And I'm just going to apply a couple coats so I get that nice pretty pinky color to really pop. The highlighter color I'm using is called Champagne Truffle, and I'm just using my big puffy brush to apply under the eyebrow and essentially just all over the brow bone. As you can see, I'm applying the Cherry Cordial just to give a little bit more definition in the crease. This step is completely optional. I just like a lot of definition in the crease area. So the last step as far as the eyeshadow goes is applying a little bit more Candied Violet right in the center of my eye. It's a really pretty glittery color, so I wanted to make sure that that color really stands out. So onto the eyeliner, I'm going to use the NYX Kohl Liner in black and just line the upper lash line. I'm going to get as close to the lash line as I can and just use a pretty thin line there. I'm going to use the same Kohl Liner to line the waterline and the tight line. And as you can see, I'm closing my eye. That's just me lining the tight line. And that's me lining the waterline. So for my drop shadow, I'm going to use Salted Caramel. This I'm going to apply with the detailer brush from Real Techniques, and I'm going to do about a medium-sized line there and just kind of really blend it out with my detailer brush. Next, I'm going to take Cherry Cordial again, and with the same detailer brush, I'm going to apply it closer to the lash line, and this time I'm going to use a pretty tight, thin line up right on the lash line, just to add a little bit more definition under the eye. For my mascara, I'm going to use Tarte's Lights Camera Lashes in black. I'm going to apply quite a few coats on each eye, and I'm going to speed it up a little bit for you because I do like a lot of mascara for a lot of extra volume. I rarely use false lashes, so here I go. Don't forget to hit your bottom lashes. You might have missed it on the first eye, but I did do the bottom lashes, just one little coat there, so that way the drop shadow doesn't overpower my lashes. And I'm smiling at you because I like you. Lastly, with the eyes, I'm going to do my brows. I'm using the Anastasia Brow Genius Kit in Brunette. First, I take the Brow Wiz loose powder, I tap it into the lid, and then I'll take my angle brush with this waterproofing gel, and I'll just apply a little bit of the gel to the tip of my angle brush and mix the loose powder and the gel in the lid there and start applying it onto my brows. Once the gel sets, it is waterproof, but if you make any little mistakes like I did here, you can just wipe it off very easily before it dries. Just don't let it dry because then it's set there pretty much for good until you use makeup remover. And as usual, repeat on brow number 2. There you go. So last thing I'm going to do for this look is apply some lipstick. I'm not using any lip liner this time, but the color is Pink Pop from Maybelline Color Sensational Vivid Collection. It's a really beautiful pink color. I love these Maybelline Vivids because they really do pop, as you can see, even without lip liner. And that's So here's the final look again. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, don't forget to thumbs up my video. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I wouldn't want you to miss out on any of the awesome content I'm going to be posting here, including a review of the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette with swatches and all. So subscribe, love you, mean it. Bye.